recently. So what we're going to do today is we're going to use the code sandbox and try to play around with React Hooks and D3 mouse events to create a drawing app that lets you just kind of draw whatever. We're not going to do anything live. We're not going to do any sharing, just code sandbox that lets you draw with React and D3. We'll see how that goes. And I'm going to start by creating a new sandbox, plain React sandbox, nothing fancy. And I'm going to turn on the API. Oh, and please say hi in the chat room. Tell me if the audio is okay and if you can see everything. We're starting with React 16.3. We're gonna add a dependency for D3. Why is this not loading? That's gonna be a problem if the sandbox isn't working. I have a feeling in my computer. Why vanilla? We did not sandbox. Okay. So it looks like my computer is going to be a bitch today and it doesn't want to work. Quit. So new sandbox, click React, because even though that's what I clicked, that's weird. All right. Name, as soon as the page actually manages to load, export default function app name. Let's call this mouse drawing. No, I want it to be called mouse drawing D3. Okay, my computer is working right now. We're gonna add D3 as a dependency. There we go. D3, we're using D3 v3v6 yet, but so I don't know how well it works. And it seems like I need to move my camera around. Oh, and it now requires adding. So I'm gonna move this a little bit here so you can see more of what I'm doing, and we can go to the edge there. Fine. So hello code sandbox, we can start editing. We can also, if I hide that, then I'm not going to have enough room. The file just vanished. Why did the file vanish? There we go. That we're going to here say click and drag to draw something. We're going to start with just double 8 lines and then we're going to go from there. Or yeah, we can go click and drag. So click and drag, then we're going to render an SVG element, a width of 100%, and let's give it a height of 100% as well. That SVG is going to look like that. And my file vanished again. That's great. Code sandbox, hello. What are you doing? Why, computer? Failed to load. Okay. Will that make it better? Very frustrating. When did code sandbox become? Sorry. So, is there anything fun to say while we wait for code sandbox to load? Sandbox managed to show things. Yay. Oh, interesting. I did not know code sandbox used draft.js. What I'm more curious about is why is it so freaking slow today? What is my computer? 91% CPU, high thermals, okay. So let's call it a mouse draw component. And this mouse draw component is going at x0, y0, and let's tell, okay, we're just gonna, so the mouse draw component is going to need to know how wide and tall it is so that we can make and give us responsive sizes. So we're gonna hard code, put it at x equals that, and let's do width of 900 and height of 900 as well. We can later make that responsive. So I'm going to here say 900 pixels and 900 pixels. And we're going to import mouse draw from /mouse draw. Mouse draw key. Now we create a mouse draw file, rename new file called mouse. Why do I keep messing that up? Mouse draw.js. move to mousedraw.js. We import React from React to make that. We export const mousedraw gets an x, y, a width, and we're gonna need those so that we can later, so that we know how to position different nodes and different elements of lines and stuff. Cool. We've got that. Now we're going to return. What are we going to return? So mousedraw is first of all going to be wrapped in a, it's going to be wrapped in a grouping node, G. So this grouping node like that, G, and it needs to be transformed to the X and Y position. So we say transform equals translate $X, come on, Y. So this gives us an SVG node, that's positioned somewhere on the screen at X and Y. Currently, that's the top left, let's say. Cool. So we've got that. The next part we're gonna need is some array of the events are going to tell us how we can draw a line between what the user is doing. In theory, let's do that. So we're gonna say const points. Let's say x equals 1, y equals 1, and we're gonna have another point at x equals 100. Cool. And then we're going to draw a line, and that line is going to use the D3 line generator to go between all of the points. So it's the what's it called? No, not GR. No, fuck. How did I forget what parameters line takes? Linear gradient, yes, okay. SVG line. Come on, show me what you got. What is the attribute that we can just call it path? Let's do path here. So we're gonna say path, how to define an SVG path as well. SVG path. What's the attribute name? SVG, come on, path. Oh, loaded and I'm dropping frames. Sorry, everyone. It's called D. So the D attribute is going to take our line, going to come out of points. That now we need to define the actual line. Line equals, let's say, use memo, or can we use callback? Yeah, we can. So we can do use callback. Let's do use memo, because I'm more familiar with use memo, but I think in this case both would work. So use memo is going to return a function that gets called when something changes. For now, it's going to be just when the component loads, we are calling use memo, and this use memo is going to return. We import asterisk as D3 from D3, and D3.line have the X accessor is going to be D.X, and then for Y values, we're going to use D.Y. Now this should in theory create a line for us. Okay, it's installing dependencies again. That's maybe Code Sandbox was not a good choice for that. We should now have an invisible line there is CSS, so it's going to be invisible. Come on, tools aren't loading. That's fun. Uploading anything, that's also fun. It's a shit show today. Not uploading anything. There we go. Now I'm uploading again. Wow. What is up with my internet today? And now everything's back. Weird. Can someone in the chat room please tell me if this is watchable at all? Because it seems like my computer is really struggling today. Let's see. Elements. We need to look at the SVG. Yay, SVG with something, and then we have a grouping element, and inside there is a path which is rendered. Cool. We've created the path. Now be styled. So let's say style, should we give it? Let's say stroke color is gonna be black for now. And let's, there we go, it shows up. And let's do line width S2 so that we have a little bit more thickness to the lines. And we're going to, what's it called? It's line join is going to be round. Important later so that we don't have jagged edges when we're drawing. I think it's line join. We're gonna find out. Okay, so we're creating a generator. Let's add another point just so that it's easier. So another point. Aha, we need to say fill is none so that we don't get a filled path. There we go. And now line join didn't actually work. Let's look it up. SVG line join, CSS property, but I keep forgetting. Cool. Let's stroke line join like that. And now this jagged edge here should become round. Did it? I don't know if it did. Join CSS trick. Crop arcs bevel round. So round should join accepts forms a point with the same curvature at the connecting paths. Okay. Wait. This is effective. What? Arcs, mitter, bevel, round. So we do want round. I'm just not sure why it's not doing anything. So I'm going to reload the page or reload the code sandbox render. Now the next part is that so that we can start clicking around and adding points to our state. So we're going to say points are going, and when we change points, that's when use memo is going to rerun. And actually, no, we don't even need to do that because we are not changing that. That's going to come later. Points are now going to come from state. Set points, come on. Set points equals use empty state. We're going to import use state from React and then to start detecting mouse events. Now, how do we detect in a way that works well? I know there's d3.mouse. Let's see. I know d3 mouse exists. Let's go to GitHub and then we're going to look for d3 mouse stuff and go from there. So d3, come on. Docs, where are you, docs? Do they not have documentation here? Ah, there we go. Wiki. And we look for mouse. Mouse, D3 mouse, D3 mouse, D3 mouse, brushes, zooming, dragging. Come on, I know there's a D3 mouse event. Or at least there used to be. D3.mouse. I know you exist. Mouse, mouse, mouse. Easings, fetches, forces, number formats. Did they take mouse out of V6? That would be frustrating. Quad trees, random numbers, scales, sequential scales. Okay. So we are gonna go look at the actual source. Or not, because nothing is here anymore. What? Is there a separate project? D3 mouse. Drag. Okay, let's look at how drag works. Drag.js event. Oh, so drag event. No drag. Interesting. So it looks like, there we go. API reference, mouse move, D3 drag, drag filter, drag subject. Okay. So this is interesting. Let's try. Does D3.mouse exist here? So if we go D3, there we go. So that still exists. Function mouse container. Okay. So we're going to use an on-click on mouse down event, and that mouse down event is then going to tell us what's going. We're going to then use d3.mouse to figure out what's going on. So can we do this? On mouse down equals mouse down, and then we're going to go into function mouse down here, function mouse down, which is gonna get an event, and we're gonna console log this event, see if we get anything useful. So we open the console, we wait for load. Now the hard part is clicking on the actual grouping element. So let's go up one level and do it. Yes. Should we do it on app.js? No, let's do a dirty trick. We're going, come on, Command Z, no, Command Z, Command. We're gonna render a white background that's a white our drawing area, because that's going to stream so that we can then detect the mouse down event on it. And we're gonna add a, you'll see, y equals 0, width int height equals height. And we're gonna say style fill equals pink, light pink. Let's do pink for now. Right. So we have pink. We're gonna have a pink background. Great. And now we can synthetic event is reused for performance. If you're seeing this, you're accessing the method is propagation stopped on a release, whatever. Okay. So we get the event. Is it actually nothing? That is really frustrating. Come on, computer. Well, now you're uploading stuff. Great. So I have no idea why my computer is fucking up so much today. All right. So let's see what kind of mouse. Okay. Come on. Show us stuff. Now let's try what mouse down, what d3.mouse console log d3.mouse. Okay, so we're printing d3.mouse, and when I click, I get undefined. What? Is that is that really no longer there? d3.mouse. Yeah, see? Function mouse element relative to which coordinates are calculated. Get XY coordinates of the current event relative to the specified container, the blah. So we're gonna take the to our to our drawing area. We're going to create a ref for that. Use ref from React, and drawing area ref equals use ref into our ref equals drawing area ref. And now we should be able to get X and Y elements. So when I click here, d3.mouse is not a function, but it said d3.mouse was a function. What? This is so confusing. See, if I go d3.mouse, everything about d3.mouse, but then it complains that it's not a function. That makes absolutely zero sense. Okay, let's go look at the D3 library and see if they removed this. Did they actually? So index.js, but it does take arguments. That's the funny part, because here, if you look at what the what's it called? The hint says that d3.mouse takes arguments, but then when I try to call it, I get D3 mouse is not defined. So let's see here. We are export version from this package, and then there's no mouse anymore, right? Really? Where did mouse go? D3 introduction. Install D3, yes. API reference. So what about if we say events? Events. Selection on. Yes, that's for type names is a string. Page note, while you can use event directly, it's often convenient. Aha, we're now supposed to use D3 dot representing the coordinates of the specified event relative to the specified target. Event can be UI event, a custom event, holding, or a touch. Pointer event, that's new. Okay. So we say we need to use D3 dot. Interesting. Specified events pointer. Okay. Try doing that then. We've got an event, and we say event and D3 dot, and this should now return a actual event, actual coordinates. Console was cleared eventually at some point. Come on, computer. Okay, cool. And hasn't loaded. Why has this not loaded yet? Problems. Set points is assigned a value but never used. Okay. Come on, computer. Okay, code sandbox showed up. So now the node was already in the store, whatever. See, we now get coordinates. Let me zoom that in a little bit. All right. So we figured out how to get coordinates out of mouse events using D3 pointer. It's no longer D3 mouse. You now have to use D3 pointer. And I think the main benefit of this is that it lets us use touch events, which, whatever. Well, we're not gonna deal with touch events right now. So we've got that. Now, to make it, I'm going to change from using we're gonna okay. So we're using D3 pointer to get, what's it called? To get the coordinates out of an event. Now I'm going to switch to using D3's D3 mouse event listeners, because I think that's going to give us smoother performance for how to draw things based on mouse movement. So we're going to add an on mouse move event, which we're going to do. What's the best way to do that? We're going to use an effect, because that's going to be a side effect and it's going to subscribe. So let's see. They have D3 selections and dot on. D3 select on is. All right. So we're going to say mouse move event. Oh yeah, that's going to be cool. So we're going to say con, and we're going to add, let's just add let's start with adding an use effect. We're going to do use effect, which is going to run, come on, use effect, which runs when the drawing area ref, when that changes, we're going to run an effect, which is going to, okay, so we're now going to go into D3 select. We're going to select the drawing area ref, and we're going to say on mouse move. We're going to call mouse move. Okay. So get that. No, not dot attribute, dot on. And then how do we remove an event? We need to make sure that we're removing events when the effect goes away. Dot on, what's the opposite of dot on? Dot on, move, new, how do you remove an event? That's D3 window returns the owner window, modifying elements, select children, merge. How do I unlisten? Let's see, listen, handling events, selection dot on. Pointers. Adds or removes a listener to each select element. The type names, yes. If an event the same type name, the old listener is removed. Pass null as the listener. Okay. So what that means is that we have to return a function that, let's do it like this. That, then we say area on, and afterwards, when we are done, we say area on mouse move. We pass in listener. That's so we don't have dangling listeners when the component unrenders and starts doing weird things. This dot add event listener is not a function. What? Of course it is. So that should now that should tell us the mouse position. Come on, computer. Okay, What is even using so? That's the part I don't understand, and what computer can upload. Okay, the above error occurred. Okay, what? Why? Why is this complaining? Listener is not a function, but it was working before. What if we had to clean up after ourselves? Will that make it work? Don't understand why this stopped working. Even complaining about computer. If yeah, there is, that might be right now. I'm also trying to one of the reasons is so that I can share it later. And okay, let's see, what is area actually giving us? Console log area. Come on. Yes, console was clear. What do you get for the area? And now it's the log selection group should work. Why does it was working earlier? Selection on, yeah. What if area? Let's wrap it in an if and see if that makes it work, or at least makes it happier. And here we say area and okay. Will that make you happy? Listener is not a function. Come on. Really, I have to buy a Windows machine just for this shit. That would be ridiculous. And the page isn't loading anymore. Again. What? All right, folks. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm gonna stop for tonight because this is just too ridiculous to punch through. Like, I feel like throwing my mouse through my monitor, and that would be terrible, and it's not great for my peace of mind. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna stop for tonight, and we're going to continue tomorrow morning when hopefully it's going to work. It often works better in the mornings. I still don't know why. So see you tomorrow morning. We're going to get this working. I think it's going to be a pretty cool application afterwards. And if you don't feel like watching it live, there's going to be an article on reactfordatabase.com next week. So thanks for watching. Thanks for bearing with me while I tried to murderize my computer, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Bye.